Hey guys, thank you for tuning back into Albert's Barbecue. Now, if you love barbecue, you've got to love brisket. And I've got myself an absolutely beautiful looking black Angus brisket here, 7.2 kilos. I haven't cooked one for a while, but I have been experimenting with an absolutely beautiful rub. So I'm going to put this rub on this brisket. We're going to get going. Stay tuned. I cooked a brisket a few weeks ago. Here it is. I didn't release the video. I cooked it on my barrel smoker. The color was beautiful. There's a few juices there, but it was only a cheap brisket. So I wanted to get a much better quality brisket and try this rub. Here's the ingredients on the right hand side. I've been messing around with this for a little bit to try and get the ratios right, but the togarashi mix, which is a Japanese blend of peppers, is absolutely awesome and goes great with any type of beef, especially beef brisket. So a black Angus brisket, this is already well marbled and pretty well trimmed up. So it's going to be an easy trim for me. I'm not going to go too crazy at all. Just take away some of that fat there. The rest of it is going to render in the cook. And then with the top, same thing, couple of little mistakes there. I'm already close enough to 1/4 inch. So just going to work away at the decal just a little bit and then get myself some yellow mustard, rub that in, and then make sure I cover it nicely with that beautiful rub. Flip it over and repeat on this side. Now this is the side where most of the flavor is going to be hitting the meat, so a little bit more rub on this side, and that looks absolutely perfect. So I've prepped this the night before. I'm just going to chuck it into a silver foil tray and then throw it in the fridge for a few hours because I'm going to be up nice and early to throw this on the smoker. 3 a.m. It's time to get this brisket on the Traeger. I'm cooking at 225 while I go back to bed. Approximately 4 hours later, I'm starting to get some beautiful smoke color. So I'm just going to spritz this with a little bit of water to keep some moisture in the smoker. After approximately 7 hours, that rub is really starting to form a nice bark. Considering this is a pellet smoker, we're almost there for wrapping. Okay, getting some beautiful colour on that brisket now. I just checked the thermometer as well, and I'm about 170 in some parts, 150 in others. So I'm going to flip it over so it's fat cap on the top and twist it around the other way as well, just to try and make sure the cook is nice and even. Okay, so that's about 9.5 hours of smoke, and I'm sitting at about 160, 162 Fahrenheit range. Give it another 20 minutes or so, get it to about 165 and well and truly in that stool, and then we're going to wrap it up and finish it off. So when wrapping, what I decided to do for this one was make sure, again, I was fat capped down. I wanted to protect the base of that brisket as much as I could. I'm going to throw in a little bit of beef stock just to help with the moisture, and then of course a little bit of beef tallow for that extra beefy flavor. I'm going to cover the top with a little bit of butcher's paper and then cover the whole thing in some aluminium foil. And then this is going to go back into the smoker, still 225 degrees Fahrenheit, until she's probing nice and soft and tender. Okay, so we're just over 3 hours wrapped now. I have been checking on it every hour or so just to see how it's coming along. Last time I checked was about 60 minutes ago. I was sitting around that 182, 185 Fahrenheit. So it should be really, really close. Total cook time now has been 13 hours. Now you may not have seen the blue light there, a little bit difficult to see on this screen at least, but 202, 203 in the flat, it just feels a little bit firm to me still, so I'm going to keep it pushing along. And then with the point, much more softer, almost like butter, sitting at about 195, 196. So I reckon we're going to need approximately another 30 to 45 minutes, and then it's time to rest this brisket for a good couple of hours. As you hopefully saw there, I was getting no resistance. So now is the time to put this into an esky, cover it up, and I'm going to let this rest for 2.5 hours. After that 2.5 hour rest, remember I was fat cap down. So that fat cap has been sitting in the bottom of those juices. I have sacrificed the bark here, but the flavor is going to be absolutely tremendous. The brisket certainly had a nice little jiggle, so let's get ourselves our knife and slice in. The flat is super tender, it's nice and juicy, it's got a great looking smoke ring, it's looking good so far. I knew the flat was nice and tender when I was slicing into it. I could see some beautiful juices flowing, and with my point, again, same thing. Arguably a little bit overcooked here, to be honest with you, but that's okay because with my leftovers, I'm going to be making some beautiful brisket pies. That au jus with the beef tallow, the fat, the beef stock, it's going to make it extra beautiful, lovely flavor on top of that brisket. Alright, so here we have our brisket. It's been smoking for approximately 15 hours, a good couple of hours of rest. It looks beautiful, great smoke ring, just got a little chunk here. Let's dig in and give it the all important taste test. That's super tender, really tasty, maybe a little bit overcooked, but as I said earlier, the flat just didn't feel as tender as what I wanted it. Good long rest, super tender, but super goddamn tasty. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you again in the next one. Stay tuned for more videos. See ya. I shared this brisket with AJ. I shared this brisket with a couple of other friends as well, and they all said it was absolutely beautiful. The flavor was on point. Yes, it was a little bit overcooked there if we were looking to do this type of thing in a competition, but we're at home. Who doesn't love a nice tender brisket? It's damn sight better than being tough and disgusting. This was beautiful. Watch out for the video on some brisket pies soon. We'll see you again later.